Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today we're going to be talking about Magneto in the MCU, Alfred Molina returning as Doc Ock, and She-Hulk's villain. If you're new to the channel, or even if you've been watching for a while, make sure you subscribe, because more than 96% of you guys aren't subscribed. And if you think that you're subbed, double check, because apparently there's a glitch where people are getting unsubscribed from certain channels. And remember that a subscription is free for you, but it really helps the channel a lot. And you can always unsub later if you want. Now let's get started. A source within Disney/Marvel has informed geeks worldwide that Alfred Molina will be returning to the Spider-Man franchise to reprise his role as the famed Dr. Octopus. Plot details are of course scarce, as they always are with these super secretive Marvel productions. But we were informed that Molina arrived on set a couple days ago to work on some stunt choreography and has started filming his scenes in the past couple weeks. The source ensured us Molina is in full Doc Ock mode, but couldn't confirm as to whether this version of the tentacle-laden Doctor was the same from Raimi's Spider-Man 2 or a new version. Either way, with Jamie Foxx returning as Electro, Doctor Strange having a pivotal role, and now Molina entering the fold, it seems very clear that the multiverse could play a big role in the next Spider-Man film. Now, as for whether or not this is the same Doc Ock we saw in Spider-Man 2, I think it'll be an alternate version like Jamie Foxx's Electro, and he'll probably look different as well. Next, according to Mikey Sutton over at GeekosityMag.com, Dan Stevens could be making the switch from Marvel hero to MCU villain, both of whom are mutants. On Fox's Legion, Stevens received critical applause as David Haller, the schizophrenic mutant son of Professor X. Noah Hawley's mind-bending show ran for 3 seasons and 27 episodes, receiving a cult following for its cerebral and quirky take on an X-Men related property. As the mutants were still owned by Fox then, prior to the merger with Disney, the program didn't exist within the continuity of the MCU. Consequently, it wouldn't create any continuity issues with Stevens potentially joining Kevin Feige's cinematic universe. According to my sources, Stevens is being looked at for the new Magneto, this time fitting within the MCU, rebooted for what is also being planned to be a new cast for the X-Men. But Magneto is just one character that Stevens is being thought of for. In an earlier report from Small Screen, Edward Lauder revealed that Stevens was being sought for a villain role, but when I asked my insiders, Magneto was what turned up. They also added that Feige sometimes auditions actors for multiple roles, and this is true because Kevin Feige has said that they talk to Keanu Reeves for almost every movie. To my knowledge, Stevens hasn't been approached yet, but he's definitely on their list. If Stevens is cast as Magneto though, he would follow the most impressive of predecessors in Sir Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender, 2 superb actors who brought gravitas to what could have been a one-dimensional bad guy. It would take an equally smart and compelling actor to follow in their footsteps, and certainly, Stevens would fit. So it's kind of interesting that Marvel is considering the actor who played Professor X's son for the role of Magneto, but he could actually be teased in an upcoming show before appearing later on in an X-Men movie. If you're familiar with the comics, you'll know that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were originally mutants, and they were the children of Magneto. However, because Marvel didn't own the rights to the X-Men, and Fox did, they retconned their origin, which is why for a while, they weren't mutants. But now that Marvel is making Scarlet Witch the first mutant in the MCU, it could be revealed in WandaVision that their parents in Sokovia were actually their adopted parents like in the comics, and Magneto was their real father all along. And lastly, according to the Illuminati, She-Hulk is casting a female villain in her 30s under the codename of Lucy, who's listed as a glamorous social media influencer, Kardashian-esque with a dark side. She promises to be one of the biggest characters in the She-Hulk universe to be introduced, and she'll be in 5 to 10 episodes. A couple guesses as to who it could end up being are either Ultima or Titania, 2 of the most notable She-Hulk villains from the comics. Ultima grew up in a cult run by her father, honing in her superhuman abilities before She-Hulk rescued her, which could be used as a significant personal connection between the characters through Jennifer Walters' career as a lawyer. On the other hand, Titania is noted as a scrawny and short-statured girl in the comics before she goes to Fantastic Four villain Doctor Doom for a new shot at life. And even though Doctor Doom hasn't been introduced yet, this could be changed so that she goes to someone else who helps her become a major social media personality. But what's interesting is that this said the villain will appear in 5 to 10 episodes, which means that She-Hulk could have a lot more episodes than the normal 6. Anyway, the show will begin production in February 2021 and should release on Disney Plus sometime in 2022. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Would you like to see Alfred Molina return as Doc Ock, or do you think there are already too many characters in Spider-Man 3? Do you think Dan Stevens will be a good Magneto? And how many episodes do you think She-Hulk will have? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.